Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I think I was recording this intro for the third time today because whatever I did recorded previously wasn't up to my standard, and yeah, so I don't have a choice but to record it again because I wanted to upload this video. I know it's late and I actually wanted to upload this video before today, which is the 6th of August, to really upload this video. And right now it's already 11:56. It's going to be 7 August really, but yeah, I have to get this video up. So yes, right, so today we're going to review this product. This is one of Giorgio Armani's most recent release. This is their Face Fabric Second Skin makeup. So this is actually renewed, reformulated or revamped from the very so-called popular, I think it was still Face Fabric foundation, and the previous edition, I mean the first one that they came up with, was actually one of the cult favorites from the Kardashians, and they were saying that, oh, you know, I really like it or something like that. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, it must be something good, you know. So I thought that I wanted to try, and also because this is one of those that has different packaging, which is the blue packaging. And from what I know is that I heard from one of the Chinese YouTuber, they referred this as the denim series. So in Chinese they say it's the 牛仔系列. So basically this is like the denim series because of the blue packaging, and on second look it does look like it was purposely, you know, printed with this kind of, I'm not sure if you guys can see, you guys see it? Like those white spots. So yes, yeah, so I'm going to review this today. I'm going to apply it and then okay, well, not today because I'm re-recording it, but what I did recorded previously is that I applied this foundation first, and then you do kind of see a review, like a demo, and then after that throughout the day I do check in. Initially when I first filmed this video, I actually checked in 3 times, but on the second recorded version I only managed to check in at the end of the day. But of course the wear time is 12 hours instead of the 8 hours I had previously. So a little bit of give and take. I don't have a choice because sometimes when I'm working I just don't have the luxury of time to be checking in. I mean, it's fast, but I wanted to kind of still check in with my proper camera. I wanted to do with my handphone because I think if I do it with my phone it will be better because it will be more apt, more prompt, you know, at the how many hour mark and stuff like that. But then again, I'll improve it and we shall see it in my next video. So for now, this is what I've got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, today I'm going to review this Giorgio Armani Face Fabric Foundation, and the color I'm using is number 2. So if you guys didn't know already, Tangs, okay, in Singapore, is carrying Giorgio Armani products now, like finally on the 6th of August, my birthday, and they did give me a 10% voucher or like coupon code for the entire my birthday month. But on the 10th and the 12th of August they have the 12% rebate. Yes, it's 12%, so it wasn't 14, it wasn't whatever number, it was 12% rebates on special days for CK Tangs. Alright, so this is my second time recording this video because the previous one wasn't up to what I was looking for. It was too close, the close-up was too big, and I didn't really like how it turned out. Although I do feel like the check-in was really apt, different lighting, and it was spaced out nicely, like 3 hours, then 6 hours, and then of course the next check-in at 8 hours. However, I just don't like how it turned out, so I'm gonna redo this again, and this is officially 1 week of trying this product. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So I have to prep my face first. Okay, so the first thing is I have to prep my face. So the first thing I'm going to be using is the Chanel Light Creator Brightening Makeup Base. So this is the purple one. It has SPF 40, which I usually use it as my SPF because I feel like certain SPF does kind of interfere with your base product, and I don't like it, and I don't like the texture of some of the SPF products. Like, they kind of just feels a bit thick in my opinion. So I like to use this because I feel like this one just feels really nice. And what I like about this is I think it brightens up my complexion, reduces downers, especially in camera. Not so much in real life, a little bit probably, but you guys can definitely see the difference. It's definitely brighter. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna get my brush and I'll be right back. Alright, so I also had a few minutes to set the sunscreen. So usually what I learned from other YouTubers is that they let sunscreen set a little bit, let the primer set a little bit, but of course if you don't have time then don't do it. I'm going in with my Innisfree No Sebum primer. This one is good because it is like the most classic primer that is affordable yet does a lot of things. It blurs, which is most importantly for people who have oily skin, and it also controls oil, which I think it controls shine. And the reason why I actually use this is because I've tried the foundation without primer, and any type of foundation for me without primer just doesn't last because I have oily skin. So to make it fair to compare with other foundation that I've been trying using, I think it's good to be using this on top of primer and underneath powders. So yeah, so prep work done. Right, so yeah, anyway, this primer I think is a very good classic cheap alternative if you guys want best of both worlds. But of course, definitely if you are into the market to choose a primer from Sephora, I highly recommend you guys check out the deluxe size first because I feel like primer is really like a hit and miss. It might be good for you, but it might not be good for me. So if you're going to invest in a primer that's too expensive, then I definitely encourage you guys to get a deluxe size first because it definitely lasts quite a long time. Yeah, that's from my personal experience, but then again, it's up to you to choose again. Right, so yesterday when I was trying out the foundation and doing this review, I was using the Zoeva 110 face shape. So basically this is like a contour kind of like buffer brushed, but I think it's a little bit too small. So today I'm gonna use something that is like full faced, and I'm gonna be using the Sigma Round Kabuki in F82, and also because I wanted a little bit more coverage, just because I have a few spots to cover. You guys can actually see that. So I'm using the color number 2. I feel like with this foundation you do have to put quite a bit on, and I think that's the reason why they give us 1.35 fluid ounces. Yep, because it definitely needs a little bit more to provide the coverage that it doesn't just go around the face. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. One layer on the skin. Honestly, with this foundation I really don't see the difference after layering. I'm not sure you guys can tell the difference, but even after layering, I feel like the coverage is still very sheer. You do have to go in with concealer unless you have really good skin. So I'm just tapping in with my brush. I'm not really buffing it or anything like that. I'm just patting it and then maybe just pulling it a little bit, because I feel like in that way the product just really kind of spreads out the most. And I'm also adding a little bit under my eyes. I feel like in terms of pore blurring, it is really looking quite good. But in terms of color correcting, it's also quite good. You guys can definitely see the difference. But for concealing, you definitely need a little bit more work. Then around the forehead as well. So it did even out the skin tone, but not by a whole lot. Yeah, so that is 2 layers here, and then we are going to put on one last layer to see if I can conceal any more of it. I always feel like if I'm concealing too much with my foundation that is of sheer coverage, I think I'm pretty much like wasting it. Okay, so with third layer on, I feel like this is the maximum coverage you can get with it. Yeah, so you definitely need to go in with a concealer. It's probably a medium coverage type of foundation, and you guys can see that the color match is actually really good for my tan skin now. It almost just blends into the skin with maybe a little bit more like a yellow olive tone. Yeah, so that is this foundation for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going in with this, packing in. I think as far as pore blurring, I'm really happy with it. But for coverage wise, I really think there isn't anything done to it. So yeah, I'm going to go back in with a little bit more, just so that the foundation doesn't disappear off the skin. So I'm going in with the second layer on this side. I don't think I'm going to layer the third one on this side anymore, because it's not going to do anything. A little bit on my eyes probably. Hey. Right. So I do find that these two eyes, because I put a little bit of the product here, it is looking quite good. So I'm going in with a little bit more of this foundation along this side and try to pack it in and see if there is any significantly comparison. Okay, it does look softer, I feel, but coverage wise is still lacking. So this one, coverage probably medium, and you can layer it, but the max that you can go is probably about 2 layers to 3 layers. Other than that, it doesn't build anymore. And then that is the only thing that I was thinking that it might be the drawback of this foundation. Feeling is that it feels kind of not super tacky, but it kind of have a little bit of gray, and then it looks very velvet and not really matte, but just kind of velvety smooth. I think if you have really dry skin, then this one will be really good if you're looking for something that is still kind of mattifying, like a very soft matte look. I think this one is a good foundation. And also if you are worried about all those little pores kind of issue, then I don't really think this is quite good for you. For now, I really like the finish of it. I've been using this for a week, and I feel like the finished after makeup usually looks really good, and I really like it. The only thing that it is not very good is that I feel like in terms of coverage and in terms of longevity, probably they're all equally long lasting compared to other Giorgio Armani foundation that I have. But I would say the dewiness, this one might be falling short a little bit. This one might get a little bit dewier faster, but I like the look when I first applied it, and I think it looks really comfortable as well, and I like how it actually minimizes the pores. So yeah, I will finish the rest of my makeup and I'll get back to you soon. Okay, so I'm done with the rest of my makeup, and I also did film a video with the rest of the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude collection. So this is the end product of the foundation with the powder, the Giorgio Armani powder on. I didn't bake, so yep, so this is the end of the foundation. I'm gonna check back in with you guys as much as I can throughout the day, and you shall see how it held up, and I'll probably do a comparison with using this powder and compare it to using the Laura Mercier setting powder yesterday, which I baked with it. So we shall see how it goes. I probably think that the baking will do it more justice because I'm more of like an oily combination kind of skin, whereas this is just setting a light powder on top, and the powder is really kind of sheer in the first place, and the powder is a little bit glowy by nature. So I'm liking the look so far. It looks really skin-like, it looks really beautiful and natural, and it kind of just, I don't know, it makes my flaws look so much less apparent. It looks really like skin-like. It looks like my natural skin texture. So that's what I like about the powder. Foundation is also looking really good. Yeah, so I'll check back in. Okay, so now it's 12:20. So the foundation have been on my face for more than 12 hours because I wore it at 11 AM this morning, and this is how it looks like. You guys can definitely still see some of my blusher, and it's really dewy right now, as you guys can see, and it didn't really catches a lot of caking or anything like that. If I have a little bit of scarring, it did catch a little bit over here, and over here you can see some caking. Then you can see some caking where I wore my glasses, and the nose is completely off, but then you can still see some of the foundation still holding up really well right here. I mean, it's kind of fading but still there. This part also completely disappeared. You can still see some of my scarring as well, definitely, but overall I think that in terms of looking presentable after one full day of work, I think this is definitely okay. I mean, if you have to go out after this, you probably need to touch up, probably need to powder your face, but for me, I think right now it's holding pretty well, especially when I didn't bake the foundation. I didn't bake my face, I didn't bake any of this. This is just purely the powder. I didn't do any blotting, I didn't do any touch up throughout the day, and this is what is left. Of course, definitely you can see a lot of sheen, but I think for me it's just like dewy, a little bit on the sheeny side, but not like super oily. These few areas where I'm really usually normal is holding up pretty well, very velvety smooth here as well, but the cheek is a little bit shinier. As you can see, my highlight as well. So I think overall, and I didn't set any powder on top of my blush today, so there's something to note that my blush is still showing through a little bit. Yeah, and it didn't really break out or separate or anything like that, but there is some caking on places where I did wear my specs. That's one thing. Second thing is that you have some scarring. It does catch onto a little bit of them. The rest, my pores and everything, it's fading, but it didn't settle into the pores and it didn't kind of just separate all over the place or like just crack open. There's no such things. Nose and chin completely disappear. This one still has some left. The nose is completely off because I do touch my nose. That's something that can't be helped. And also my nose is the oiliest part of my face, so that is really very normal as well. So overall, I really like this entire foundation, but I do want to add a few couple of things. Is that it's gonna be in Singapore in Tangs on the 6th of August, which is this coming Monday if you're looking at this video now. And then yeah, so better to get them in London because of the tax-free, and also I feel like because of the rates now, it's slightly cheaper than getting it from Hong Kong, yeah, and even from Changi Airport, because these two places are places where it's as close for Singaporeans to get those products, but then they are always often out of stock and they take a really long time to stock up. And then thirdly is that they don't really have an extensive color range. I remembered that the previous time they came up with the cushion, the red one, which is really popular, they only have until number 5, which it's still very fair, because I have 5.5. I've used 5.25 or 5.5 for the luminous silk. It was 2 red, 2 tan. So I think 5 would roughly be a color for me, but it's still too light for the cushion foundation. And then number 4 in this face fabric, it's also too dark, so I got number 2, which is kind of like fairer. So the color range is a little bit weird, but then again, if they have more colors, it's also really weird because they have only until 5, and they were thinking that all the Asians have colors or skin tones that fit within this range. It is just ridiculous because everybody has different undertone, different colors. I really like their products. I like everything. I'm just like sucked into Giorgio Armani. Like every time I go to Hong Kong, I want to check the counters, and then when I know that I'm going to London and Portugal and Europe, I'm so stoked because I just really wanted to buy the product. And I know I'm not going to be disappointed. I know that I'm going to have colors and have a more variety to choose from than in Hong Kong and in Singapore. And also, Hong Kong sales assistants are very rude. I feel in terms of GA, which is Giorgio Armani's SAs, they are very rude. They really don't want to talk to you, you know. And there's one, I think he was a part-timer. When I said I wanted to cushion this color, the first thing he do is not to go and find stock, but he raised his hands out like this and told me to give him money. And I was like, this is a higher, it's like a shopping mall. It is not like, it is like Singapore's Ion, where you have like counters of them, you know, and this is the services that you give people. It's just very unprofessional in my personal opinion. And yeah, and they don't really want to talk to you regarding the product. When you ask a question, they just give them one answer. Like they ask something, you ask something, they answer something, and that's it. They wouldn't elaborate for you, and they wouldn't do anything like helpful. So getting to buy things from Europe just makes things so much better. I'm not saying that, you know, people there are better, it's just that the sales assistant there are much more helpful in getting my correct shade. There's one girl in Portugal, she even took me out to the daylight to see natural lighting on how the powder foundation is going to look on my face, on my skin tone, when I asked her to match the shade to me. So that was really a good thumbs up, really effort. So yeah, I'm really excited it's finally coming to Singapore, and I'll be looking forward to it because it's on my birthday. I'm gonna get some products there if I could, or if I can. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.